Okay.
Except you, but it feels like we've known each other
Nathan, why are you being so sentimental?
Right now?
I don't know.
Okay. Slope fields. So we've been doing the differential equations part. Slope fields we might get into a little bit today with some of the prep book stuff that I printed for you, so we can go through it that way so you can see it. But differential equations, so we've been finding either the general solution or the specific solution. So general is where we just take the antiderivative, we add the plus c part at the end because that accounts for the constant. However, we got into a little bit of the stuff that was explicit. We started that. I think that was just the first one of those we had done, so we still have a few more to do of that. But when you do the plus c part, they give you a y and an x value, and then we have to solve for c and then rewrite the equation with that number in for c. And so that's where we will pick up today with some more examples. So 16 dy dx equals 5 secant squared of x minus 3/2 times the square root of x. Y is equal to 7 when x is equal to 0. All right, so I need to find the antiderivative of this. For this piece right here, what's another way I can maybe think about this that'll make my life easier?
3/2 times 1 over x.
X to the 1/2.
X to the
Yep, 3/2 x to the 1/2, just for the sake of seeing it when I go to do the antiderivative part. So, what is the antiderivative of 5 secant squared of x?
It is.
And just in case it's attempting to throw you off, the 5 is just being multiplied by what the antiderivative of secant squared is.
So we would just leave the 5 out then? 5 tangent x.
Well, it goes out, like it stays out front, but you don't have to worry about it when you're taking the... Now, why would it not be 5 tangent of 5x? Or how would we know that that wasn't the case? Because 5 tangent of 5x would still end up with a 5 out front. Like if instead, you don't need to write this, but 5 tangent of 5x, right? How do we know that that's not the antiderivative of this? What's the giveaway?
Because the derivative of 5x.
Well, not so much that, but ignore the 5 out front. What's the derivative of tangent of 5x?
Secant squared of 5x.
Right. So then times the 5 from the, times the derivative of that. So that would, anyways. But there would have had to have been a 5x here. So that's why I knew that I just needed to copy it down. If it had also been inside, then I would have known that I needed to deal with that, which fortunately we don't have that situation, but I just wanted to point it out in case we did. If you're confused, just disregard everything I just said. All right, what about the second part? The negative 3 half x.
To the 3 over 2. Isn't it just x to the 3 over 2?
Wait, what?
Okay, so we need to add 1 to the exponent, so that puts that at what?
X to the 3 over 2. So
Okay. So when I take the derivative, what do I need to put here in between?
Negative?
Negative.
I already have that negative side right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, that's what I figured. I just wanted to make sure we're... Am I done?
Plus c.
There we go.
Aren't you proud of us?
No matter how many times I say that, though, somebody's still going to forget that on the test. All right. So, I need to find C now. So I'm going to plug in x and y. So 7 equals 5 tangent of 0 minus 0 to the 3 halves plus C. So 0 to the 3 halves is gone. What's the tangent of 0?
0.
So that's all 0. So 7 equals C.
Wow.
So
Then we have to plug it back in. Right?
the final would be y equals 5 tangent of x minus x to the 3 halves plus 7.
Okay, so the antiderivative part is the hardest part.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. Then it's just algebra. Let's see. How about 18? dx dt equals 1 over t minus 1 over t squared plus 6 x equals 0 when t equals 1.
How much space would you recommend?
I mean, probably about the same as the last one. Ballpark. Plus or minus 1 line, I guess.
We'll go for it.
Put the over-under at 1. Alright, what's the antiderivative of 1 over t?
L and N. I mean,
L
L
and
and
T.
N.
And then
How about 1 over t?
T to the negative
x, yes, yeah, t to the negative 1. So plus.
Yep, because then when we take the derivative, we get negative t to the negative 2, which gives us that. Okay, so if you need to think about this as t to the negative 2 to begin with, that's fine too. Then the plus 6 antiderivative, 6t
T. Dang.
Plus c.
plus c, yay!
Why are they gonna switch up variables?
Now, I'm not saying it is for this one, but on the situation that c comes out to be 0, I would just note that instead of just not writing it at all. Okay, especially if that happens to be in a short answer question, because, I mean, I don't think it would be, but if that ever did happen, you just would want to point out that it would be 0. All right, plugging in. I don't know why I put y over here, like that's, you know, supposed to be an x over here. Minor details. All right, so 0 equals the ln of 1 plus 1 to the negative 1 plus 6 times 1 plus c. What is the ln of 1?
0.
0. What is 1 to the negative 1?
No, you gotta.
What does the negative 1 do?
Oh, it like
Make
flips
it.
it into
You gotta put it on the bottom.
Just moves it to the bottom, which would be 1 over
a 1.
1, which is
One.
positive 1, yes. And then 6 times 1 is 6, so that is 7 plus c equals 0. So c equals negative 7. Then just plug it back in. X equals ln of t plus t to the negative 1 plus 6t minus 7. And they do leave it as t to the negative 1. If you wrote it as 1 over t, that would be fine too. Let's do 20. ds dt equals t times 3t minus 2. S equals 0 when t equals 1.
Chain.
Chain rule? I'm trying to find what?
The antiderivative.
I would distribute first. Why?
To make your life easier.
Because I don't know what to do with the product rule. Correct? So, ds dt equals 3t squared minus 2t, and wow, isn't that a lot easier to deal with?
Yes.
So S equals
T cubed minus T squared plus
look at us go. Now plug in. 0 equals 1 minus 1 plus c. So c equals 0. So I would just go back up here and just put something that says like note c is equal to 0. And then when you rewrite it, you just write it without that. So s equals t cubed minus t squared. But that way we've made a note that that's why c is just gone now. So it's not like you forgot about it and just didn't do it. Let's see. I didn't give y'all the fundamental theorem yet, did I?
no.
Good job. He got it from Taco Bell. What'd you get there?
Got a Crunchwrap Supreme combo.
Look, I got sick after eating that when I was in like elementary school, and I have not eaten one since then.
A Crunchwrap
Crunchwrap?
Supreme.
Yes.
Love those things.
Like very specifically that. Like I just can't even look at one anymore.
And then their soda machine is like,
Okay, their soda machine usually is full of mildew. Like that's like user error right
Really?
there. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, they don't clean them correctly.
There were like, there was like no like soda syrup in it, so it was all watered down.
What'd you try to get?
Baja Blast.
Yeah, it usually has like mildew in it and it's gross.
Really?
We found ants in it before too. Yeah. Yeah, stay away from that.
I literally drank one on Saturday.
I mean, it's not always, but like you can tell when they haven't cleaned it in a while. It's pretty gross. And you can tell better with a light soda than like the dark sodas, because obviously you can't see the little floaters in the dark soda.
Oh my gosh.
So like, what am I looking? What should I be looking for?
Basically, little black floater pieces.
That's mildew.
Yeah.
Or ants, apparently.
Yeah, or ants.
So
Yeah.
I could have gotten sick from a variety of.
So it could have been any of that. I feel like you would have seen it in the Baja Blast, but
Yeah.
not
I
me
don't
trying
know
to.
how it was just me that got sick though.
Who all ate it?
Well, no one ordered the same thing I did.
Okay, well,
Okay,
did anybody else have the
so-
same drink you did?
No.
So it
Okay,
could have
then
been
your-
either of
your-
those
your
two things.
answer, I don't-
Still doesn't help with the case.
Yeah, no.
All right, the fundamental theorem is the integral from a to x of f prime of x dt. I feel like that's supposed to be f prime of t. Hold on.
Oh, Garrett wanted a Crunchwrap, so I ordered one to go. He hasn't gotten sick,
Okay, so then it was probably the Baja.
to my knowledge.
We're not assuming Taco Bell's
He did cut his hand up though. But
With a crunch wrap?
no. Yeah.
Gonna say, even more user error.
Punched the glass dome.
Well, why
on
did
the
he do that?
ceiling. Well, I think he did it on like it wasn't intentional.
Oh, okay.
I think he was just like excited about something.
the
He
coin.
wasn't really aware of his surroundings, which was evident because there was glass everywhere, all in the rug and stuff.
Oh no.
Is he okay?
Yeah, he's fine. He just has some glue on his hair.
Some
Yeah.
like Elmer's?
Just like
Imagine. No, it was like some I don't know, sting glue, whatever. He didn't need stitches though.
Yeah, this definitely should be F prime of T. I don't know why I have X on my paper, but fixed it for the future. Anyways, okay. Is equal to f of x minus f of a.
I did one F in print and the other F is in cursive. Why did I do that? I don't know why.
Why'd you do that, baby?
I don't know why I did that.
That's so nasty.
Right. F of x equals the integral from a to x of f prime of t dt plus f of a, which is just a modification of that there.
How many days are we spending on this section? 'Cause we still have like the field slope things, right?
Yeah, probably one more. This section was supposed to be a 5-day section, so.
Oh, we're still doing good.
I also had sweet tea at Taco Bell. Do they clean out their like sweet tea or tea containers too?
Probably not.
Probably not the spouts. They usually look pretty nasty, I'm not gonna lie. Just anywhere you go, you just don't want to look at it. It's better to just not know.
I'm not gonna eat Taco Bell again.
It took me a while after I got sick from Taco Bell to go back there. It was rough. Okay. Solve the initial value problem using the fundamental theorem. Your answer will contain a definite integral. So 22, we have du dx equals the square root of 2 plus the cosine of x. U is -3 when x equals 0. So notice from the formula that we had, f of a is going to be, well, I'll say that in a second. F of x is really going to be f of u in our situation because we have u and x here. So it's going to be, like, the letters are going to be different than our, like, the way the formula is written. So with these, we say f of u is equal to the integral from whatever the x value is up to x. So 0 to x of the square root of 2 plus the cosine of t from the formula dt, there we go, plus, now we need to look at u here is our f of a part. So f of a is -3. So, we have, oh, I need to change this to a minus sign now. -3. And that's literally all you have to do for these ones. Is basically, it's just like when we did the rewriting on the other ones, but we have the, like, f of a part now instead.
Hey Coach, I have a question. On our match Friday, what time do you think we would be done? And like back at the school?
Well, we probably aren't coming back to school right after. We'll probably eat, but probably like 7:30. Matches are usually at least 3 hours.
Okay. I was asking because basketball's trying to have their banquet on Friday night at 7, I think. Is it at 7? Is that the time that coach proposed?
He's trying to schedule for Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll probably just not eat after the game and have my parents take me to school.
Well, you're driving there on Friday.
Oh, right.
But I'm assuming like Zach will need to go after too, and well, and if like y'all are done with whatever like your like whatever your doubles is, and like before the thing's over, like I'll let you leave early. Like normally, obviously I don't do that, but I would let you do it for that situation.
Okay.
So. Okay, 24. So same thing, it's just written a little differently. G prime of S. Honestly, this way that it's written is probably a little easier to deal with, or just to like look at, is the cube root of tangent of S. G of 0. Oh wait, is equal to 4. So this says that basically S is equal to 0 and G is equal to 4. Is what that is telling us there. So this is going to be the f of a value for this problem, which that's why I'm saying the way this is written is a little easier to see in terms of that. So we'll have g of s is equal to the integral from 0, because it's getting plugged into x, of the cube root of tangent of t. And again, the t is just because that's what the formula has us using is t. dt. And then plus this value here of 4, so plus 4. And that's it for those ones.
Okay. Pretty simple.
All right, I'm going to pause this here, give you this packet. We'll work through the packet, and then we'll do a few of the example problems out of this section tomorrow with slope fields, and then we'll be done. But that should only take us like 15 minutes tomorrow, and then you should have time to work.